Now here I want to talk about cookies for a couple of minutes. I don't think there's anything in computers more misunderstood than cookies. I've had calls from presidents of banks, from various clients, people who wouldn't admit to be clients, people who, in hushed tones on the phone, what is a cookie? Do I have them on my machine? I've had friends really express fear about what cookies were on their machine, because they had fallen prey to a lot of real inflammatory type things that the press has done about what cookies are and what they do. First of all, you need to understand cookies are nothing more than a small amount of text data. Now, these things are limited to 4,000K or to 4K, which means you can't put a ton of information out there. There are two types of cookies. First of all, there's temporary cookies. These are stored in the browser memory. Now, this is what the vast majority of cookies are used for. The browsers are set up to use cookies to enhance interactivity in the user experience on the web. Now, can they be abused? Yes. Have they been abused? Yes. But it's kind of a knee-jerk reaction to turn off cookies. But I know I'm on a soapbox, and it's not going to do any good, so I'll get off of it. Now, the next kind is persistent cookies, and this is where we actually store them on the client's hard disk. And again, this sounds like a great idea because we can set expiration dates and we can determine how long they stay there and so forth. The only problem is that there's about 3 million issues with cookies. First of all, you can only store string data, which means even if I'm going to store numbers, I have to convert them into a string before I put them in cookies. What most people do with cookies is they write them to the user's hard disk, and on their side, they write them into a database, and then they store more information in that database tied to that cookie so they can tell what the user did the last time they were on the site, what products they tend to like, different things to try to help the user experience be a little bit more pleasant and enjoyable. Cookies are browser dependent. Different browsers do different things with cookies. All browsers that I'm aware of, or the major ones anyway, and I don't know all the browsers that are out there, but the majors that I'm aware of give you the capability of determining where cookies are stored, if they're stored, and so forth, how long they're stored. Cookies don't like proxy servers. When you start going through proxy servers, cookies have a tough time. And in today's world, proxy servers are a way of life for most commercial installations. The press is having a field day with cookies. I don't know how many specials on shows like 2020 and the news magazine shows where cookies and such things have been really just demonized about how dangerous they are and what can happen with them and so forth. So that means that most people are afraid of them. Users are a major issue with cookies because, again, they don't trust them. They've been informed and misinformed and confused and scared and so forth to the point that most users turn these things off. Or they download some script or some application that turns these things off or keeps them stripped off. So the bottom line is you really can't count on cookies anymore as a viable state management option, unless you're in a corporate environment where you can control the browser setup and settings. Now, browser settings is another issue. I've already talked about those things. Now, the whole point of this video, and I've said this 3 or 4 times, and I know you're probably tired of it by now, but be careful about depending on cookies unless you're in a corporate environment where you can control browsers and settings and so forth. More often than not, if you're depending on cookies in your e-commerce, a good example of this is Amazon.com. And you see a lot of websites and a lot of Microsoft's websites tell you have to have cookies enabled to be able to get full utilization out of this website. But if I log on to Amazon.com and buy something and then log on again from that machine, they've planted a cookie on my hard disk. Now, this thing is not spying on me. It's not taping my conversations. What it will do, however, is the next time I log on to Amazon, they know that I bought a computer book the last time I was there. They will show me the new computer books that were out. Now, this is great for me because I could care less about some book on psychotic readings or whatever, or some book on global warming. I want to see some books on technology and on the industry that I work in. And those cookies do that for me. They allow Amazon to have some information about me the last time I was there, what I bought, who I am, and to help me even fill out my billing information to complete some of the forms for me. So I like that. So anyway, just be aware, cookies are great, but you can't depend on them anymore, unfortunately. In the next video, I'm going to end this section of videos on a positive note. Now, I've griped and complained about cookies long enough here. We're going to talk about a new feature in .NET that will let you use cookieless session IDs and maintain these on browsers where cookies have been turned off.